Hello YouTube, my name is Cabot Twain Barnett. I'm a driver with Western Express, and welcome to Play Dumb. Today on Play Dumb, I'm going to show you guys how to trick out your truck with some cool grill light LEDs bought from temu.com. I am not a representative for temu.com, just to protect myself legally in case they try to sue me. But I don't know why they would, because I'm going to show you a bunch of cool stuff I got from temu.com for relatively no money at all. Like 1 hour of my life, bought everything here. Now, first thing I'm going to show you is something that every trucker does need in order to be hands-free and safe on the road. That is a windshield mount for your cell phone, which you use not only for communications and for weather, but also for maps and entertainment. Some forms of entertainment, never ever videos. This I got from Temu. It is by far the most durable, versatile, cheapest, most sexy thing. I've taken this thing off of 6 windshields and it still works. That right there says it all. I've seen these things. You can buy them cheap, you can buy them expensive. It has a telescoping feature right here that will make it a little more prone when you're going down the Jersey Turnpike, bouncing up and down to zero out. But you know what? Just keep it short and sweet, like this video, and there should be no problems. It has a little swivel on the back. You can control it laterally. You can press this button right here. When you press your phone against it, squeeze it down, and this is extendable, and your charger goes in there, and the thing's just amazing. Top notch, made in China, just like everything. Don't worry, you're not going to find anything that's made in America, because we don't have to do that anymore. That's what we have China for. This right here is my second favorite. It's a smiling shark headlight. Great for kids. Has multiple functions, including one where you can wave your hand around it and it goes on and off. But it's very, very bright, as you can see. It will help you do better pre-trips, especially at night. It'll help you be safe at night. It has a low beam function to save battery. It uses a C-port charger on the bottom. I think it's waterproof. I don't know. Even if it's not, it looks waterproof. It does red, which is good for safety. It doesn't strobe, but it does do low light red function, which will help you kind of give you that military night vision in your cab kind of look, if that's what you're going for, which I'm going for all the time. Helps preserve your night vision if you're out walking, and it does have a function where you can wave your hand by your head and turn your light on and off, which sometimes is a pain in the butt, but most of the time is very, very cool. It also has its final function, which I'll show you. It's just a little kind of spotlight, little hand light function of this thing on the side, and I believe that does have 2 levels as well. But like I said, very good product, and you can't beat the price on this ever. And it's just chargeable. You don't have to worry about batteries. The charge does last pretty much forever. I've charged it like maybe 6 times. I've had it for a year. The last thing from Temu, I forget what it was. Oh yeah, the lights that we're going to install right now. First, I'm going to show you what you need. So, I shut my truck off. It's off. Here are the keys. Brand new 2024 International, brought to you by Western Expense. Their truck, your expense. Western Expense. First thing you're going to need is a drill or an impact driver with a drill bit. This takes speed bits because it doesn't have a chuck. This is an impact driver, but it's the same thing, relatively. I don't have to use it because I'm not going to use it because they're already installed. But I have to clip them off, so I might as well show you how. This right here is the final product. Nice, pretty ice blue lights. These are actually accent lights for your typical Honda Civic, which most semi-truck drivers just pretend that their truck is, because they're going to brake check you and do whatever the hell they want and not be operators at all. That's fine. Now what we're going to do here is just reach in to the very, I'm not sure if you can see that very well, and we're just going to give that just a little snip in case you need to later. I'm going to not poison the earth. Take care of all of our trash today. Oops, as I poison the earth. Okay. I've already done this installation. As you can see, I just drilled a little hole in there, and up top. Your truck might be different, but if it's international, it'll work the same way. Now this, I have to push this out just a little bit, and I'm going to end up pushing that up there and just giving this the old cinchy. That's one of the main reasons I'm doing this. Oops, can't even see. So give that the old cinchy, because it was showing and that was pissing me off. Later on, I'm going to do some wire management with the actual zip ties and get these down. But the way that I threaded them through, there shouldn't be any wear problems, and everything's not going to get compromised by getting sucked up into some fan or doing some crazy thing. So later on, I'll come back and just do a little bit of wire management. But I'm showing you how you'll have these lights on without any key in the truck, and it won't really drain down your battery because you have 6 of them, and it's a semi. If your batteries are dying in a semi, you've got bigger problems, like why they're dying and that they shouldn't be dying. But I'm gonna reach up in here and just one at a time. I'm gonna give these this little snippy clip. What you're gonna do is, because it's made in China, everything's backwards. So the blue is actually the ground, because why not make it completely inverted? Because you're on the metric system doing some Chinese algebra. It's obviously going to be different. But in America, your common wire or your neutral is going to be the white, and your colored wire is going to be, even if it is probably anything but black, is going to be your ground. In this case, it's made in China, and they're special like that, so they just want to think that the only wire, I don't know what they want to think. I really don't know what they want to think. It's completely backwards. But you're going to want to go to the top one, the one that's not coming necessarily to your, or going out to your battery, but the top auxiliary one, that's the one that's going to maintain hot. The bottom one, it doesn't really do it. It doesn't do it for me. It doesn't do it at all. And this main ground also doesn't do it at all, so you have to ground out to the housing itself, which I don't really understand, but doesn't really matter. I'm not an electrical engineer, but I will tell you that I got the result that I wanted, that I had in my Volvo, and that's nice, pretty blue accent light. Get it from Temu with a headlamp, and with when you buy your windshield mount, basically, if you're looking for a windshield mount, then just go to Temu and get a windshield mount. Get these accent lights. It's meant to go on a Honda Civic or a Honda Accord, or some other vehicle that most semi drivers on the road today will drive a semi truck like, a 17-inch long car that has a turning radius that could be done inside of a 50-gallon drum, and just ignore the whole world before you go out there and brake check some poor victim who's probably on their learner's permit, has no idea what they're doing, or in another semi, or they're in another semi as well. Now what I'm doing is I'm standing on top of my radiator, because I know the radiator core support is very, very strong. So you can step up here, but don't step on this plastic thing, and don't step on this plastic hose, and don't step on this plastic jug. You have to get over here and stand on the top. Now where we're going with our feet is going to be going right down by the hinge. See that hinge with all the silver bolts on it? That's where our feet go. Nowhere else. Maybe on this little platform here while we cut these ties. I'm going to show you where I drilled my holes. I drilled one hole right there. I drilled one hole right there. I drilled one hole right there. I skipped that. I drilled one hole right there. I could have drilled one hole right there, but I skipped that. And I drilled one hole right there. And how I daisy chained these up, I actually zip tied it to the zip tie, because these are accent lights. These are meant to shoot the light on an adhesive strip up onto the hood, onto the inside of the hood, and actually illuminate just a band of these things. So I'm not really using these for their real purpose. You got to understand that where the light comes out of these things is actually meant to be attached on a domestic car to the part where the hood comes up. The hood would actually squeeze down on these and would just illuminate a line, like you'd see on that sexy stuff where where on the cars they have today, the new model cars, they actually have a freaking stripe on them that on the inside of the interior they'll have a stripe that basically borders or outlines all the interior trim. It's meant to be something like that, but on the inside, and it's not. Anyway, so without cutting the wrong things like the cord that comes from this thing, I'm just gonna toss these all on the ground, count them out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now, I'm just gonna stand up, look where my feet are, and inside this truck, standing on the good part, not on anything bad. I'm gonna right back up the way that I came. That's all you'd have to do. I can do it with a cell phone. You can easily do it with your hands and stuff. Now I have to actually take this in one hand while I leave this place. Being careful not to die or step on anything that's gonna break. But that's the final result. Again, that's the accent lights from Temu. I'm sorry, this is a 12-minute video. It probably should have been shorter, but believe me, in the time it took me to cut these off and make this video, you could easily either go on a Temu and buy those 3 things, or you could go and actually have them already and pretty much install them in that same amount of time. So I'm going to take all the tools I came out here with, and I'm not going to litter into the ocean. I'll be a bad steward to my planet, because my planet is what keeps me alive, and we have to show gratitude and thanks for that. Also, don't touch these because they're covered in grease if your truck's brand new, and then you don't have to learn that the messy way like I just did when I touched mine. So hopefully this video helps you guys out there to kind of beautify or make your truck really unique. I still got a little bit showing on the right side. Doesn't matter, that's good enough. These are ice blue, and I haven't had any problems with DOT inspections or people getting cranky with it being seen as, oh, those are only for emergency. That's my last one right there. These are only for emergency vehicles because the only ones that are going to have blue. Oh, come on, Mary. There we go. Anyway, with just a screwdriver or a little pair of crescent wrench and a drill and a screw gun, you can hop up in there, and without the keys being in the vehicle at all, they'll stay blue even when you walk away. And that right there is upper class. That's a scrub brush they found on the side of the road, but anyone that doesn't zip tie that on while they're out here with their zip ties is well, pretty much a stone cold moron, because that's amazing. Every truck driver should have that on their truck. If they don't, they're either flat better or they're stupid. And it's up to you which one you want to be, but I don't want to be dragging a bunch of that clay substrate crap into my truck. Not me, not today. As I said, I'm a driver with Western Express, and if you want to know more about Western Express or how you can become a driver with Western Express, please shoot me an email at cabotb7@gmail.com. Thank you so much. This has been another episode of Play Dumb, and get out there and keep on trucking. Any CDL drivers, may the force be with you. Be safe.